Guys, I found myself having more conversations talking about Adesanya versus Vettori. And partway through the conversation, I realized the person I'm talking to does not know this is a rematch. They're like, oh, yeah, Adesanya's the greatest. Adesanya will wreck everybody. Adesanya will knock him out in the first round. And then I have to come in on the back of him and go, well, he didn't. And it's at that point that they will then tell me, what do you mean he did? They fought before. I didn't know that. And I think that it's relevant. When you're doing a rematch, it's a lot of fun to talk about because what you have to talk about is obvious. Who's gotten better? What is different now? And you would reference a match that this guy had, or you'd reference a match that the other guy had. But I found myself, are you guys like this? Are you finding yourself, people don't know that those two fought. First off, neither one of them, it wasn't Angry Marvin yet, and it wasn't Champ Adesanya. I mean, in all fairness, give us as viewers a little bit of a pass. But the other side of the coin, there is an influx of new fans that weren't around for that fight. There's some old fans that maybe they drank a few too many beers and that fight was too many fights ago. They just forgot that it happened. And it's one of these deals where Adesanya is so clearly better. He is so visibly better. I remember that fight with Marvin. I remember Adesanya got took down and everybody thought, okay, great, we got the blueprint to beat Adesanya. But then Adesanya came back a fight later. And all of a sudden he got taken down again, but he scrambled up to his feet. Now he's locked in there with Derek Brunson, who's by far the best wrestler of anybody that had faced Adesanya so far. Brunson couldn't even get him down in the first place. So we're seeing these very clear games. Well, now you have to play that same game with Marvin. What's Marvin better at? And I'm just going to take Marvin at his word because Marvin said to me, Chael, me today, Marvin Vettori, versus the Marvin that Adesanya fought, I today would stop that guy. I am light years better now than I was then. So it's one of these things that you have to look at. You have to give a level of consideration to. I could identify and tell you what it is that Adesanya is doing better. I don't know that I can do that with Marvin, but I do have to trust a guy. A guy knows when he's ready. A guy knows when he's at his best. A guy knows when he's doing better now than he did before. Vettori has been making a very big deal about the ground game of Adesanya. And I believe that that comes on the heels of Adesanya's last defeat, which was to Jan Blachowicz. Because Blachowicz, particularly in rounds 4 and 5, was able to take Adesanya down, keep him there without a whole lot of activity, right? The only problem that Marvin might be having is to have a foregone conclusion that he can get Adesanya. Adesanya is hard to take down, whether Blachowicz did it or not. Yoel Romero did not do it, just by example. Derek Brunson did not do it, just by example. Kelvin Gastelum had a hard time doing it by example. As a matter of fact, nobody's done it except Vettori. So Vettori did it. That's where he's getting this confidence. And then we saw Blachowicz do it to reinforce what Vettori already believes, which is I can take this guy down and I can keep him there. Is that enough? Is that enough, or should Vettori be planning on what if I can't? What is plan B? How do I avoid the question mark kick? How do I avoid some of the elbows? Now, I would trust Vettori can answer every question I'm laying out for you right now. I also just know as an athlete, and I'm personalizing it, if you get dead set on something, but you're sure it's going to happen, you're sure you can do it, sometimes you don't show up with that plan B. Sometimes you don't show up with a backup cartridge. You think you got enough in the chamber as it is. So it's one of the questions that I have. Is Vettori better than he was then? Yes. Why do I say that? Because he told me and I believe him. Who would possibly know better than him himself? Is Adesanya better? Yes. But that one I can answer for him. I can tell you distinctively from fight to fight what he's doing different and what he's better at. It's a very interesting match. If I bring to you guys anything right now, I think I just want to bring to you the fact and the idea that this is not a one-off. They know each other. This is a rematch.